Hari Om Tat Sat. Welcome to Swami Jyotirmayananda Society, our journey to self-realization. Please subscribe for the mystical meanings and to enjoy daily satsang. We are currently exploring Srimad Bhagavad Gita, commentaries by Swami Jyotirmayananda Maharaj, narrated by myself, Swami Nikhilananda. We are currently on chapter number 4 and we are on shloka number 21 today, where Lord Krishna continues to guide Arjuna on the deeper insights of karma. निराशीर्यत चित्तात्मा त्यक्त सर्व परिग्रह शरीरं केवलं कर्म कुर्वन्नाप्नोति किल्बिषम्. Devoid of cravings, with the body and mind under his control, having renounced all objects of pleasure, a yogi performs actions only to maintain the body. After death, he does not come back into the world process beset with misery. So, here in the previous shlokas that we covered yesterday, God is nicely summarizing it that those yogis, yogi is somebody who's connected with God. Yoj means to connect. So one who has been connected with God becomes a yogi. So devoid of, he has devoid of cravings. Cravings means he no longer has the inner urge to run here, there, be totally wanting more and more of these the worldly things, etc. All that settles down in him. He is contented, um, and he has his body and mind both under control. He gets up at a certain time, he's disciplined, he follows his sadhana, his rituals, and his um, efforts for attaining spiritual realization. And then he has renounced all objects of pleasures. He no longer is indulging in worldly things because his mission is different. He wants to terminate the cycle of life and birth and death, and therefore he wants to attain liberation. So such a person is a yogi who performs actions only to maintain his body, because that is still needed. We will still need to eat, he'll still need to sleep or wear clothes and basically take care of the essentials, but he is not indulging in them all the time. He is not thinking of all hoarding or buying more things or worldly activities. He has risen above all those things, and now his life's purpose is to attain realization. So after death, such a person does not come back, because this world is filled with misery and pain, as we all know. So that is the reason why we all need to get liberated or become mukt. Mukt means free. Currently we have chains, invisible chains, we just don't see them. Moving on to shloka number 22. यच्छ्रच्छालाभसन्तुष्टो द्वन्द्वातीतो विमत्सरः समः सिद्धावसिद्धौ च कृत्वापि न निबध्यते. If one is satisfied with whatever comes to him without his egoistic effort, and is beyond the pairs of opposites, and is also devoid of jealousy and balanced in success and failure, then even though he performs actions, he is not bound by karma. What a beautiful shloka. In a short little shloka, God has covered so many things. That's the beauty of Sanskrit language. That's why it's called Devalipi. In very short um, prose and song-like content, it has very deep imports of the meanings. So here God is saying, being satisfied with whatever comes to you, meaning tript, you are not running after this, that, um, unending desires, and he has no ego involved. He may do very big things, but he always credits God. He becomes an instrument in the plan. And he is beyond the pairs of opposites. What are the pairs of opposites? Day and night, life and death, hunger or satisfaction, or everything is in duality mode. Hmm? So That is what he is, beyond that, and he is balanced. He has equanimity of mind, in other words. In success and failure, he is equal in both. Then he may perform actions, he may do anything, although apparently it may look like he is full of action, but inwardly no action, which means no fruit is coming to him. Another person who is doing it for selfish reasons, for the fruits, the action is the same, mind you, but for one person he is getting bound by the action, and the person who is doing it from an elevated state in a unselfish manner, and he is doing it to for in a selfless manner, then he is not bound. Same action, one is bound, one is not bound. So please understand the deeper depth of the meanings. So we cannot just run away, cannot just give up actions. So actions is required. Even thinking is action, eating is action, walking, talking, sleeping, everything we do in our human body till our departure, last breath, we will be doing some action. So the question is, do you want to be bound by the results of those actions or not? That is the essence of this shloka. Wise people try to eliminate the fruits of the actions, and therefore cut the cycles of birth and death. Moving on to shloka number 23. गतसङ्गस्य मुक्तस्य ज्ञानावस्थितचेतसः यज्ञायाचरतः कर्म समग्रं प्रविलीयते. For one who is liberated, whose mind is firmly established in wisdom, who is absolutely detached from the fruits of action, and who acts in the spirit of yajna or sacrifice, all karmas dissolve along with their fruits. What a beautiful shloka again. So when the yogis and sincere aspirants, when they put in all this effort, God is telling them it is being recognized. He sees our actions, he sees our intent, and therefore uh, once one reaches that state, from an advanced to the liberated state, then what happens? The mind is firmly established in wisdom, and they are detached from the fruits of the actions. Whatever happens, they have equanimity, whether they achieve the result or not. They are not doing it for the result, they are doing it for the action itself, for helping humanity, for example. And they are doing a sacrifice, so therefore they have detached the desire for fruit, therefore the karma also goes away. Although externally it appears that you are doing lots of action, lots of karma. So, shloka number 24. ब्रह्मर्पणं ब्रह्महविर्ब्रह्माग्नौ ब्रह्मणाहुतं ब्रह्मैव तेन गन्तव्यं ब्रह्मकर्म समाधिना. So here God says, one who sees Brahman as the oblation, Brahman as the clarified butter to be offered into the fire of Brahman by Brahm himself, he verily holds the perpetual vision of Brahman in action. Thus seeing, he attains Brahman. So this shloka generally is said as part of the our taking our food, because when you are eating, God says, I am the food, I am the digester, I am the person to whom the food is served, etc. Which means that everything is ultimately Brahman, or the super consciousness state. Shloka number 25. Devamevapare yagyam yoginah parayupasate brahmagrava yagyam yagyenaivopajuhayati. Here, some yogis perform sacrifice to please the devas, while others offer the self to be sacrificed by the self into the fire of Brahman. So here what God is saying is there are two types of people. One is who want some results, and so therefore they are doing sacrifices to please the gods so they can get the desired objects. And then there are others who are doing tapasya, penance, and working hard to attain self-realization, meaning sacrifice the self into Brahman, meaning to merge into Brahman. And how do you do that? By doing selfless actions, by following the deep teachings of Bhagavad Gita as we are doing now. Shloka number 25. श्रोत्रादीनेन्द्रियाण्यन्ये संयमाग्निषु जुह्यति शब्दादीनिष्विष्यान्य इंद्रियाग्निषु जुह्यति. Meaning, some yogis offer their ear and other senses into the fire of samyama restraint, while others offer sound and other sound sense objects into the fire of the senses. Which means basically the import of this shloka is that you offer something very dear to you, whatever you like a lot, you offer it as a yajna, as a restraint. So if you like to listen listen to very good things, you basically offer that, or whatever, into the fire of by restraining yourself. That is the fire. So not a physical fire, you're not physically putting anything in fire, you're basically simply sacrificing, which means you are controlling your sense organs, your eyes, your nose, your ears, your taste, your touch. All these sense organs are being restrained, and in other words, learning self control, control of the senses. And shloka number 27. Sarvani indriya karmani pra प्राणकर्माणि चापरे आत्मसंयम योगाग्नौ जुवति ज्ञानदीपिते. Some yogis offer the functions of all the senses and pranas into the fire of yoga, of self-restraint, samyama on the self, which shines with the luminosity of wisdom. So here God is talking about the yogis who are doing meditation. Samyama is when we do concentration, meditation, and ultimately achieve samadhi. But that can only be done when we have restraint on the senses and on the pranas. Pranas is that breath, that subtle element inside that gives us peace and tranquility, and through that you go into first the concentration, then meditation, then samadhi. So then they will shine with the luminosity of wisdom. So here God is giving different examples of yogis, different kinds of practices that people are performing, and God is well aware of the efforts, different efforts that people are making. That's why he is explaining this so beautifully. So with this we conclude our satsang for today, and we will continue with shloka number 28 in tomorrow's satsang. Hari Om Tat Sat.